so good to be back here in South Carolina, home of the Gamecocks.
The iron Keyshawn swords in from the weak side, however, and gets that done.
There it is.
Driven hard, the Gamecocks will take the series against their rival.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Gamecock Insider. I'm your host, Derek Scott. On today's show, we have coverage of Gamecock women's track and field. We'll go down memory road not only with that sport, but also with Gamecock baseball, plus the recent goings-on for softball, for equestrian, and for women's golf. A lot of ground to cover on today's show, so let's get started with our Prisma Health injury update. Unfortunately, the news there as it continues to be around the baseball program. South Carolina's battery mates, that being Carolina's starting pitcher Dylan Eskew and catcher Talmadge LeCroy, both still on the disabled list right now. For Eskew, it is a muscle in his side, as well as recently being on the concussion protocol, of course. And for Talmadge, it's a hip problem, and right now neither one of those young men and veteran leaders for this team are available. That is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official team physicians of the Gamecocks. Staying with hardball, let's switch over to softball. Gamecocks are in the top 10 in the national rankings now as they've continued to stack up great weekend performances, most recently on the road in Baton Rouge against number 3 LSU. Boy, the Gamecock softball team continues to roll on. We'll have more on them later on in the program. Meanwhile, let's switch gears and get to the horses and, of course, the riders. Equestrian had its SEC championship. Now, for South Carolina, it's a bit of a transition period. You've got a first-year head coach. You've got a lot of young riders who are figuring things out. And this year, they came into the tournament as a little bit, if not an afterthought, certainly not one of the favorites. They were the 4th seed. They had a losing record in conference play. Didn't matter. You get a fresh start in the postseason. The Gamecocks took full advantage in claiming an SEC title. Let's take a look at the weekend highlights.
We're about to start the second half of Horse Swooch-Up. Fingers crossed. We need 2. They need 4. Let's go Gamecocks.
Congratulations, third ever SEC championship for Gamecock Equestrian, the first since 2014, and now they begin their pursuit of a national title as well. We're back with more of Gamecock Insider in just a moment from Learfield.
Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks, and by Backstreet's Grill. Join us every Thursday at Backstreet's Grill on Divine Street, where Carolina calls from 6 to 7 p.m. Visit backstreetsgrill.com to learn more about their unique food and drink options.
I know what it takes to build a winning team, and I see that shining brightly every day in our long-standing partnership with Prisma Health. As our official team physicians, Prisma's commitment to helping our players achieve their best gives us an advantage every time we take the court. Prisma is illuminating a better view of health from every angle for all of our Gamecock athletes and for the communities across South Carolina and beyond. There's nobody our team trusts more, as together we see a healthy, hopeful way forward.
Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP experience this baseball season. Visit usccontest.com and register for your chance to be Cocky's game day guest. Winners will get a special invitation to a game, an autographed baseball and ball cap, 2 premium tickets, a trip to the radio booth, and more. Visit usccontest.com to register today. Cocky's Game Day Guest is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, here for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
They say home is where the heart is, and that's never been more true than it is right here.
Right now, in Colonial Life Arena. Colonial Life reminds us to stand together, no matter what.
And to lift each other up, both in support and celebration.
And the Gamecocks win!
So, if you're a Colonial Life policyholder,
Business owner, community partner,
or a fellow fan,
thank you.
Because you make this house
Our home.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experiencing the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
We're back on Gamecock Insider. Time to head down to the Low Country, the Darius Rucker Intercollegiate Golf Tournament, a great event for women's programs around the country. Of course, South Carolina is the host school for that event every year, and they're also always out to try and claim a title. It was another fun weekend down at the Long Cove Country Club.
Describe the Darius, I would say incredible.
For Darling. Oh, how about that? This is better.
My word would be challenging.
Oh, it didn't take the break.
How does that break up the hill?
The best.
How about that?
Crème de la crème.
I can see what all the hype was about.
Wow. Oh, right on. Yes.
Senior has won the individual title of the Darius Rucker Intercollegiate.
For decades, the Low Country of South Carolina has been a fixture in the world of golf, and this week that tradition continues in Hilton Head for one of the best tournaments on the calendar.
You know, I would say the story of round one is that I hit a lot of really good shots and a lot of really good putts, but just not as many dropped as I would have liked. You know, a golf tournament, it's really a marathon, not a sprint, and you can't win it on the first day, but you can really lose it. And we were in a good place as a team and individually.
To be honest with you, I didn't feel great on the first day with where my game was at. Off the tee wasn't what I hoped it would have been. I wished a couple putts have dropped more, but other than that, I think for my first time it was pretty good.
Nowhere near her best stuff and still managed to give us a decent round. Definitely see her growing and see them kind of mature little by little and just gain more experience every week.
You called it audible. The coach was kind of recommending you use another club.
How do you feel about potentially putting that?
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
With the putter, it feels like
Okay.
see how that's sitting up.
Yeah. Yep. I'm great with the toe down.
You have this thing in your gut as a player, and as soon as you see the shot, if you can visualize exactly how it's going to play and perform and react, that's the one you have to go with.
Perfect. Well played. That's so good, Sophia. Go in.
I suggested she putt it. I thought that was the best opportunity for her to get the closest. And she just kind of called me off.
She called it. I told her to putt it.
I said, but you've got to do with what you feel, because you got to go to the player's gut.
You got to do what you're most comfortable with. You know what I mean? You got to go with your gut. Yep.
Yeah, so for day 3, we saw the forecast was kind of terrible, and we didn't know if we were going to play, but just put it in perspective where I didn't play the last tournament, and then being able to play a final round like that, obviously it was really tough. I kept my head down and calm, and very happy how it ended.
Right back on point, Luis Ridquist. Oh, how about that birdie by Luis?
What an excellent putt in that moment.
I loved just the persistence they had, the confidence they had, and the desire they had to go get it. They were competitors.
I will say that when we come into a collegiate program and we already have a team built around us, and then when she comes in, she adds to it.
Very informational. Helps me a lot on the course to make smart decisions.
I'm really just excited for it to all come together and all come to fruition. So there is that chip on our shoulder, a touch going into the postseason.
With this talent, as they know, we still haven't hit our full stride, but we're going to be really, really dangerous here in the back half of the season.
1, 2, 3, go!
Not only a great event, but a great performance from South Carolina. They grabbed a share of the team championship, and Louise Ridquist earned a share of the individual title as well. Let's switch gears now to our Terminix Pest Player of the Week. We're going back to softball, and we are going with Carly Shelton, who led the way in those big wins over Clemson and LSU that we've talked about here on our last 2 programs. On the weekend, she led the team in runs scored. She had a couple of doubles, just a big performance throughout the week for Carly, and congratulations to her. She is our Terminix Pest Player of the Week. And we're back with more of Gamecock Insider in just a moment from Learfield.
Right now, get 1.99% APR for 36 months plus $1,500 loyalty cash on a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid.
Toyota, let's go places. What does farm to table mean to you? Fresher, tastier food? Sitting down with family and friends at local restaurants? Sure, but thanks to South Carolina farmers and chefs, you can enjoy farm to table anywhere. That's because when you buy certified SC, you're supporting South Carolina farmers and getting locally grown food that's perfect for whatever table. So choose local, choose fresh. It's a matter of taste.
They say home is where the heart is, and that's never been more true than it is right here.
Right now, in Colonial Life Arena. Colonial Life reminds us to stand together, no matter what.
And to lift each other up, both in support and celebration.
And the Gamecocks win!
So, if you're a Colonial Life policyholder,
business owner, community partner,
or a fellow fan,
thank you.
Because you make this house
our home.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experiencing the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
Good hard work has earned Jelani Sarr the title of Colonial Life Academic Athlete of the Week. A member of the men's tennis team, Sarr is a retailing major at South Carolina. This week's Academic Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Colonial Life. Colonial Life, the benefits of good hard work.
Little try. No, that's... And what a wonderful play. Brooke Blankenship going all the way into center field and snags that one
out of the air and robbed the base hit of Avery Hodge.
That's your Sansbury. Did you see that play? Brooke Blankenship with an amazing catch for South Carolina, all part of a great weekend on the road at LSU, with Carolina taking 2 of 3 from the third-ranked Tigers. Now let's switch gears, talk a little bit of history. We're talking about women's track and field. Did you know South Carolina's first ever team championship as a university in any sport? Well, it came in women's track and field, and that was in 2002. And recently, some members of that great team were back on campus to celebrate, and we had a chance to give them the opportunity to stroll down memory lane.
Well, we've got this. When's the last time you've seen the trophy?
I don't know. When I looked I don't know. It's been a while.
You held it, maybe?
It's been a while.
I'll give you a minute.
Okay. It was a lot of things all at once. There's anxiety, like I felt butterflies in my stomach.
Technically, I did not know. I'm always a tunnel person. I just focus on what I need to focus on.
Watching the race as the stick went around first leg and second leg, and then me getting a stick in third leg, by that time it was a really, really close race between us and I think Texas at the time. Lashinda and the Texas athlete battling it out, knowing and believing that Lashinda would close it out for us.
UCLA running in third, but well back. Lashinda Demas. South Carolina in quest of its first team title in any sport at any time. Texas running second. And here down the main straightaway, the Lady Gamecocks of head coach Curtis Fry have just claimed their first ever team championship.
It was a feeling like none other.
We have the record for the most points at any NCAA. I mean, I think we still have the record. We kicked butt. I thought it was at the last bit too, but
it was great celebrating and watching and knowing and having those bragging rights.
I wear my ring and I'm like, we are the first national champions. They're talking about basketball, which I do love basketball, but I'm sorry, we're the first national champions.
By the time we made it back to Columbia, there were people everywhere. Recognition and small celebration right then. Being able to walk around campus, of course, that was my senior year. I think about it all the time, and I think I share with the young people a lot. Being able to set a goal and say, hey, I don't know what it's gonna take, but this is the goal that I wanna meet, and I'm gonna give everything I have to meet that.
See, my message to all athletes is, or just to give back. Give back. It takes a team. You did not do it all yourself, and you have to be able to say, listen, stop thinking me, 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 and at the same time think team as well as look out for other people at the end. I love it. I wear my Gamecock hat religiously. It's like it's a privilege. It's like, hey, I didn't just go to college. I went to the University of South Carolina. You can't help but be proud to be a Gamecock.
And so being a part of that group and knowing that it's 50 years at the University of South Carolina and that I, along with many other women, are a part of that group is very special.
Just to be a part of that, oh my goodness. Track and field. We are the first, and we'll always be the first.
You gonna touch it? I'm like scared to touch it.
No, grab it.
It's here.
Did, so I don't know, I think.
I don't want to break it.
South Carolina have claimed the 2002 Women's Outdoor Track and Field Championship.
I know what it takes to build a winning team, and I see that shining brightly every day in our long-standing partnership with Prisma Health. As our official team physicians, Prisma's commitment to helping our players achieve their best gives us an advantage every time we take the court. Prisma is illuminating a better view of health from every angle for all of our Gamecock athletes and for the communities across South Carolina and beyond. There's nobody our team trusts more, as together we see a healthy, hopeful way forward.
Lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for $379 a month for 36 months plus $1,750 bonus lease cash.
Toyota, let's go places.
You've never been afraid to put in the work. The extra early, extra late, extra work. Because you understand that education is the key that unlocks everything. Better pay, better hours, better opportunities, a better you. And playing the lottery is no different. Getting educated before you play gives you the tools you need to be a better player. Like knowing when to play and when to take a rain check. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to be a better player.
Welcome back to Gamecock Insider, everybody. When I say the name Whit Merrifield, what do you think of? National championship, game-winning hit, walk-off, great Major League Baseball career. Lots of options there for Whitley. Recently, we had him as a guest on Tailgate Talks. Let's take a look.
We're joined here by one-time national champion. We just got corrected. One-time national champion, Whit Merrifield, who is in the kind of gray space, finishing up a 9 and change MLB career. Just finished up with the Atlanta Braves, but had a long stint with the Royals, the Blue Jays, was with the Phillies. Am I missing anybody?
That's it. Finished with the Braves.
Let's go. But Gamecock great came in with us, 07 class. Had a lot of good times in college. He cheered on the football team as we cheered on the baseball team. So appreciate you joining us, dude.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, that was a hell of an intro right there.
Yeah, let's get.
You just say national champion. You don't have to say one-time national champion.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I'm a one-time SEC East champion.
Got to be careful of those.
Yeah. Well, aren't you? I mean, you should be playing baseball right now. What's going on?
I mean, I guess I should be, or I could be. Yeah. I mean, this is, just turned 36 in January. Our window's only so long. Going into this off season, we had the birth of our first child a year ago, last March. And so going into the off season, this past year was, it was difficult for me to be away from them.
Yeah.
So I told my agent, I said, look, here's the teams that I'm willing to go play for. And here is the kind of the dollar figure for each one of those teams. Because if I was going to play in New York, it was going to look a little different than if I was going to play in Atlanta or Baltimore or DC. And of those teams, there were some that just didn't have any interest. But there was a few that were interested. We just couldn't, or we just didn't get to a space where I thought it was worth it for me to leave my wife and daughter to go do this again. So we're not retired. We're not officially retired. I
think, I've said this to you before. A call here in 4 months would be.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a chance that somebody thinks that I could help their team. But I'll stay in shape and stay ready if that call comes. But for now, I'm enjoying being home, being a dad.
Well, you are like a Swiss Army knife. So, if a team doesn't find value in having you come in infield, outfield, I mean, you led the league in hits and stolen bases. You've done damn near everything possible besides led the league in home runs. So if a team can't find value in leadership and versatility, shame on them. But
game's a different world than it was 10 years ago. That those things don't get the computer doesn't recognize them, and
really?
So you can't quantify that value. At least the computer can't, and so. Those type of qualities, while we know as athletes that have been a part of it are important, we live in a world of analytics now, and so that's being devalued more and more every year. So just part of it, evolving, and I haven't done a good job evolving with it.
But I mean, I feel like, and we've talked with a bunch of guests previously about the specialization in the training. Do you feel like that's kind of hindered as far as a jack of all trade type player?
Yeah, I mean, the game has definitely become more physical, the baseball game. It's about How hard do you throw it? How hard do you hit it?
You've never been afraid to put in the work. The extra early, extra late, extra work. Because you understand that education is the key that unlocks everything. Better pay, better hours, better opportunities, a better you. And playing the lottery is no different. Getting educated before you play gives you the tools you need to be a better player, like knowing when to play and when to take a rain check. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to be a better player.
Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP experience this baseball season. Visit usccontest.com and register for your chance to be Cocky's game day guest. Winners will get a special invitation to a game, an autographed baseball and ball cap, 2 premium tickets, a trip to the radio booth, and more. Visit usccontest.com to register today. Cocky's Game Day Guest is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, here for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
Sound and Images has been providing the Midlands and South Carolina with professional audio-visual services for over 40 years. Now we're home to one of the most advanced venue and meeting spaces in the state. Experiencing the latest in video conferencing, live streaming, and virtual presentations at the new Sound and Images Business Center. We have space for every need, from smaller personal rooms to large rooms for conferences and events. Conveniently located just a few minutes from downtown. Elevate your AV and call Sound and Images today.
What does farm to table mean to you? Fresher, tastier food? Sitting down with family and friends at local restaurants? Sure, but thanks to South Carolina farmers and chefs, you can enjoy farm to table anywhere. That's because when you buy certified SC, you're supporting South Carolina farmers and getting locally grown food that's perfect for whatever table. So choose local, choose fresh. It's a matter of taste.
Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks, and by Backstreet's Grill. Join us every Thursday at Backstreet's Grill on Divine Street, where Carolina calls from 6 to 7 p.m. Visit backstreetsgrill.com to learn more about their unique food and drink options.
Time to wrap things up on this week's edition of Gamecock Insider, which means it's time for the On the Road segment brought to you by our friends at Toyota. College Station, going to be a popular spot for Gamecocks this coming week. The baseball team would be down there for a 3-game series against the Aggies. Women's tennis will be in town as well. Meanwhile, the Carolina softball team hits the road for Fayetteville, Arkansas to battle with the Razorbacks. And that is On the Road, and it's brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. That wraps it up for us here on this week's edition of Gamecock Insider. I'm Derek Scott. We'll see you again next week.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.